Hello, here is your full body Pilates workout. In this workout, we're just going to be mobilizing the entire body. I'll give options for different levels, and you'll only need a mat. If you like, you can have a small head cushion if you need it, or just like a towel or something that you can fold up just to elevate the head a little bit in some of the exercises to get that lovely spine alignment. But we're going to get going. So I'm going to start on our mats, lying on our backs. So if you have that head cushion, you're just going to place it under the base of the head, keeping the neck nice and free. Feet are hip distance apart and arms alongside the body. We're just going to start with some deep breathing. So I want you to inhale into the rib cage, exhale to let the ribs soften. Just keep on inhaling and exhaling. You're trying to just increase the air around the lungs, air around the rib, air around the spine. You're trying to increase the air around the spine just so we can engage with that thoracic breathing and get that support that we need in our exercises, but also just to help us get ready for our practice. So just take some long breaths, inhaling and exhaling. Maybe you feel the shoulders heavy on the mat. Hands alongside the body, palms down nice and long. Your sacrum, so that part just where your pelvis is, nice and heavy. And even weight through the feet. We're going to start with pelvic clocks today. So we're just going to start by waking up the pelvis and the lower back. So I want you to imagine that your pelvis is a clock. 12 o'clock is your belly button. 6 o'clock is opposite. 3 o'clock to the left and 9 o'clock to the right. And there's a small ball in the middle of your clock. I'm going to start by rolling that ball to 12 o'clock and then to 3 o'clock, then to 6 o'clock, then to 9 o'clock, then back to 12 o'clock. So you're going to inhale for half of the clock, so half of your circle, exhaling for the other half. And as you go, I want you to maintain that sense of heaviness through the spine, through the shoulders, and heaviness through the feet. So you don't want the knees to be rocking too much. And maybe you feel the lower abdominals connecting as you roll to 12, but that's nice and easy way, easy movement to get the hips moving, the pelvis moving. Let's go one more in that direction. Keep going with the breath. And then you're going to rotate. So you're going to go 12 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and back to 12. Maybe you feel your shoulders a little bit heavier this time now you've got the movement going. Keep looking up towards the ceiling. Throughout the session as well, we're going to do a lot of exercises where we're trying to encourage you to see if you can keep looking up to the ceiling, unless you really need to look at what I'm up to. It just keeps that spine in nice alignment. Let's go for one more. This should feel nice on that lower back, rolling through. And then we're going to settle somewhere where that ball is nice and central. So we're not at 12 o'clock, we're not at 6 o'clock, we're not at 3 o'clock, we're not at 9 o'clock. Just keeping that pelvis, that's your nice neutral pelvis. We're going to go into some single knee fold. So keeping the ball in the center of the clock, you're just going to bring the right knee up in towards the chest as far as you can. Then you're going to drop that knee back down. So it's inhaling up, exhaling down. Alternating, starting with the left leg up, right, left leg down, right leg up, right leg down. Pausing at the bottom for a second. We're going to add in some arms, so we're going to add some rib cage closure. So as we lift the left leg up, we're going to raise both arms up overhead as far as we can without flaring through the ribs. And then we're going to bring it down again. So we're inhaling to lift the leg and the arms, exhaling to bring it back down. And really focus on your neutral pelvis. Don't let that ball move as you bring the knee in. If you find you imprint the mat, you've just gone a little bit too far with the leg. If you find you're flaring through the ribs, you've gone a bit too far with the hands. So my hands just come just past ear level, but that's my range of motion for my shoulders. So find your range and don't be shy to like test it out. We're warming up at the moment. Keeping going with the breath, inhaling and exhaling. Let's do one more. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. Let's bring the hands up above the shoulders and the palms are going to face in. Relaxing the shoulders down. We're going to bring the feet together and the legs together. So we're going to wake up the hips a little bit more by doing some knee drops. So keeping the pelvis neutral, you're going to drop the right knee towards the floor as far as you can without coming out of that neutral. And then you're going to bring it back up. So let's inhale to lower. Anchor the opposite hip down. Exhale, bring it back. Use your core and your breath to help draw that knee back to the center. Dropping down and up. If you find the other knees moving or wobbling around, that's a good sign that your pelvis is moving. So you really want to try and keep the only thing moving are those legs dropping from side to side. It's quite hard. And up. We're going to do 2 more rounds. Foot drops to the side. Core brings you back. Arms up, which is another bit of a challenge. Trying to keep those shoulders down. Don't have your arms to help. Last round. Dropping down. Coming back. Dropping down. And coming back. Very nice. We're going to bring the palms down alongside the body and bring the feet back to that inner hip distance. We're going to go into some spine curls. So if you are using a cushion or a towel under your head, just take it out the way for now and bring the head down. So we're going to get the open up the hips and wake up the spine. So keeping those shoulders heavy like you were just doing, we're going to roll the ball to 12 o'clock. I'm going to come up one bone at a time into our spine curl or that bridge position. So only going up as far as opening up the hips. We're going to pause at the top and then let's roll back down, softening the rib cage back to the start and back to neutral. Let's inhale at the bottom. Exhale to roll the pelvis under, soften the ribs down towards the mat as the hips come up and open. Inhale at the top. And let's exhale to come back down. This time I'm going to add an arm circle to the movement. So as we roll through the pelvis and bring those hips up, we're going to pause. We're going to bring the arms up. We're going to rotate the arms, palms down, and then roll back down through the spine. So we're inhaling at the bottom. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under, soften the ribs. Core helps to draw the hips up. Inhale to circle the arms round. Exhale to bring that pelvis down. This time we're going to sync up. So we're going to inhale to prepare. Exhale to roll the pelvis. As it goes up, we're going to bring the arms overhead. Inhale, pause with the arms overhead. Exhale to circle the arms round and down. Try to keep even weight through the body, through the feet, holding those arms at that ribcage closed position. And then circling them round back to our bridge. Let's go 2 more like that. Inhaling, we bring the arms and the hips up, keeping that rib soft, those ribs soft. Sorry, that feels really nice. Just one breath. We're pausing at the top to inhale again. Last one here. We're just circling around back to the bottom. Ooh, very nice. We're going to get the lower spine in some rotation now and bring the knees up into our double knee fold. I'm going to glue the legs together. So find your neutral again. Feel free to feel it out as well. If you bring the knees away, you'll arch the back. If you bring the knees forward, you'll imprint the mat. So find that lovely neutral position. We're going to bring the hands out to a low V and palms up so we can help support the upper body a little bit more. Glue the legs together. You now have one leg. And do hip rolls with the feet up. So we're going to roll the pelvis to our 9 o'clock. As far as you can without the knees sliding, just going straight over to the side, knees not getting any closer to the hand or the shoulder. Then you'll pause and then use your core to come back to center. Let's inhale. Use your exhale to roll over to 3 o'clock to the left, keeping the shoulders down. Inhale to pause. Exhale, use your core to bring yourself back to center, back to neutral. Keep flowing like that from side to side. And I want you to keep heaviness in the shoulders. Keep using your core. Keep breathing, looking straight up. And focus on that rotation of the spine. So we're just rotating the lower spine. And if you find you're dropping and using sort of gravity to just help you drop to the floor, you've gone a bit too far. And if you find your knees are sliding, you've gone too far. So I want you to find that limit where you're still in lovely control of the movement. I like to imagine like my toes are like on a wall in front of me and they're not deviating just from like drawing a lovely arch. So if my feet come away from the wall, it means I've added some flexion of the spine. So I've just sort of bent my knees towards my shoulder. Or if they're pushing too far into the wall, it means my knees are coming away. So whatever visual helps, keep going. We've got one more to each side. But it's a lovely move because it also really works your abdominals, it works your obliques. And keeping those legs glued together, lovely pelvic floor connection too. Last one to this side. Come back through center and just hug the knees into the chest for a second and relieve any tension there. Okay, we're going to come into some curl ups now. So we're going to get a bit more abdominal work and we're going to get that spine working too. Let's interlace the hands behind the head, neutral pelvis, shoulders, elbows off the mat, just in your peripheral vision. So we're going to hold the head up the whole time throughout this movement. So make sure the hands are clasped. And then we're going to start with a nod of the chin. And we're going to just flex the spine. So come up one bone at a time, as high as you can, without gripping or moving that pelvis. You're going to pause. And then you're going to lower down one bone at a time, keeping the elbows where they are, so don't collapse at the bottom. Inhale. Exhale to nod the chin. Soften the rib cage. Flexing nice and slow. Inhale to pause. Exhale to come back down. We'll do one more like that, and I really want you to focus on no movement in the pelvis. So if you find that you've gripped and you've got really tense, maybe you've come up too high, maybe you need to relax the pelvis a little bit. And down. Okay, this time we're going to add a single knee fold as we come up. So let's inhale. Exhale to nod the chin. As you nod the chin, you're going to add a bit of extra core control in that pelvis as you fold the right knee into the chest. Try not to imprint that mat. Inhale to pause. Exhale to come down. We're alternating legs. We're going slow and steady. Control. You can feel the core dial up to help. Pause. And down. Okay, this time we are going to come up on one breath and come down on one breath. So we're going to exhale to come up, bring that knee up. Inhale to come down. Exhaling to come up, softening the rib cage, keeping the head heavy. Exhale to come down. 2 more like this. I'm going to do a little hold. So wherever you're at, you could be at the curl ups, just practicing there. Or you could be here, doing the curl ups with a single knee fold. This time, we're going to hold our head up with our curl up. We're going to add some challenge. So let's hold up, hold that knee. Let's release the left hand so it's hovering above the mat alongside our body. We're going to straighten that leg out, keeping neutral, and bring that arm into ribcage closure. And then we're going to bring it back. So let's inhale to lengthen. Exhale to bring it back. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to bring it back. Keep that curl up. Keep looking towards the thighs. 3 more. We're doing 6. Be careful as you bring that arm back. You don't lose your curl up. So you might not be able to go as far back as you might think. I'm losing counting. 2 more. Last one. Bring that hand behind the head. And we're going to go back down. We're going to do exactly the same thing on the other side. So exhaling to come up with that left knee. Release the hand alongside the body. We're going to straighten that leg out and bring it back. Inhale out. Exhale back. Keep the ribs soft. 3 more. 5 and 6. Hands behind the head and roll back down through the spine, foot down. Very nice. We're going to do a little bit more challenge, and we're going to do some oblique curl ups, and then I'm going to add on a little bit. Okay, so same thing as before. We're going to do oblique curl ups with the knee. Feel free to leave the feet down as well, but we're going to go straight into it. So same as before, exhaling up and inhaling down. Okay, one more to the other side. I'm going to add on a little arm reach and just a little bit more of a twist. So we're going to come to the right, nod the chin, come up into that twist, into that curl up. We're going to release the left hand to the outside of the right knee, right thigh, and then see if you can reach up a little further. Hold, keep that height, hands behind the head, and come back down. Let's go to the other side. So we're coming up. We're using the hand. We're going to see if we can twist a little further. Keep that twist, hand behind the head, and calm down. So with the twist, you're trying to increase the rotation in the spine, not just using the hand. So I'm thinking twist a bit more. So I'm not using my hand to like pull my shoulder forward. We're increasing that twist. So maybe you come off the ground a little bit further. We're going to do 2 more on each side. Woo, a spicy core. Nod the chin and rotate. Arm. Twist a bit further. Hands back. Whoa. Calm down. One more to each side. Rotate. Reach and reach. And down. I can see I'm doing it. So let's keep those elbows wide. Last one here. And come down through the spine. You can release the hands for a sec. You can roll the neck from side to side. I'm going to loosen off any tension on the hips, and we're going to do some bridges. So rather than articulating through 12 and coming straight up, we're going to come up into our bridge and open up those hips. So let's bridge up, exhaling, soften the ribs, Inhale down. Just one breath per movement. Exhaling up. Inhale down. Exhaling up. Inhale down. Even weight through the feet. One more. Going to hold up on this one. Hold. Okay. Softening the ribs. Let's bring the arms. As we bring, let's bring the arms up overhead into your rib cage closure. And we're going to single knee fold. Bring the right knee in, hands come down alongside the body and down. So staying on the same side. We're going 7. So you can just tap the toe. 6. 5. Arms are gliding. Pelvis is open. 4. 3. 2. 1. Keep those arms overhead. Let's switch sides. Finding that balance. Heel up, toe off. 7. 6. Working that balance, forcing yourself to stay in control. You can always get rid of the arms. Keep those wrists soft for 4, 3, 2, 1. Arms overhead. Let's roll down through the spine, releasing the hands alongside the body. Lovely. We're going to roll over. We're going to come to all fours now and work the upper body a little bit. Work those arms. Little push-up situation. Okay, so we're going to come to all fours. And first, we're just going to do a bit of cat just to loosen up the spine and get us ready for our 4-point kneeling. So wrists on the shoulders, knees under hips. Think of space between the shoulder blades. Head's not hanging, back of the neck lifted. Ribs aren't just hanging down, just a little bit of a lift, not so you're pushing into your back though. Core's nice and tight, pelvis nice and neutral. From here, we're going to go into our cat. So you're going to tuck the tailbone under, so think of that 12 o'clock tilt. Keep tucking and you'll find your spine ripples through one bone at a time. Pause. And I'm going to open out head and pelvis back to neutral. So it's a really good one to like be able to find your neutral position after doing movement. And really think of the head and the tail going away from each other. So think of two opposing points of motion here. And head and pelvis away. Okay, let's just do one more. And then we're going to go on to some tricep press. And up. Okay, we're going to keep the pelvis neutral. And we're going to add like a tricep press with a tabletop situation. I'll explain, don't you worry. So first, we're going to tricep press. Keeping your pelvis nice and neutral. Going to bend the elbows, bringing the chest in between the hands. We hinge at the hips. And we push up. Let's slide the right leg out and tuck that toe. And again. Ooh. We inhale down. Exhale up. Let's slide the left leg out. Keeping your neutral. Maybe we come to our knees for our push-up. Maybe we stay up. My wrist. Sorry, I'm just like wriggling my wrist. Ignore me. Let's do it. Inhale down. Exhale up. Slide the right leg back in. Trying to keep the left toe is tucked. Try to keep the spine neutral throughout. We're doing one more round of these. We're going to lead with the left hand. Left leg tucks. Inhale down. Exhale up. Right leg out. Lots of shoulder stability. Pushing up, down, and press. Right leg in. That should have been left leg in. It's okay. And press. Left leg down and press. Come back off the wrist for a second, give them a little rotation. I'm going to do a little thread the needle, and then opening out into a little side plank. So we'll do the right legs out. No. I'm going to do right leg out, left leg down. I'm just confused. I'm just figuring it out because I've got to face you guys. Right legs out, left legs down. So you can have to be on both knees if you like. So we're going to start left hand. We're going to rotate the head, the upper spine, mid spine, flexing at the hips. And then we're just going to come back whoop, to the top, finding that balance. So let's inhale to thread. Exhale to come back. Keeping my right foot down for now. Right elbow can bend. Think of that tricep press you just did. Let's do one more. And then we're going to turn the left foot to the short side of the mat. Turn the right foot so you're on the heel, the foot. So voila, we're in a side plank. From here, you're pushing the floor away, you're lifting your ribs up, your hands are up. So you could use a cushion under your knee here if you like. I'm just going to lift and lower this leg. Right leg's lift, squeeze and lower. 6 more. 5, 4. Keep the hips open. 3, 2. Last one. Hold. Holding for a second. Think of being nice and strong in the core. Lifting up, squeezing that bottom glute a little bit, squeezing the top glute a little bit for 5, 4, 3, 2, and lower that leg down. Bring that right arm down, swivel round, slide the right leg in, and we're going to do the left side. So I'm going to face this way. So from here, right hand, let's just do that thread the needle. So we're going to bring that hand under, rotating through that spine, should feel quite nice, and back to the start. So inhaling to rotate, exhaling to open. 2 more. Using that left hand to push open. Think of your tricep press. And then we turn that leg to the side and we come into your side plank. So my front foot's a little bit in front of my knee here. And find your side plank, arms up. Move your hair out your face if you need to. Wrists on the shoulder. We're just going to lift that leg up and tap it down. We need 7 more. Good. Use your core to keep you stable. 5. Pelvis is nice and neutral. 4. 3. 2. And last one. 1. Swing that hand round. Slide the leg in and just come into a child's pose. I'm going to spin back this way. Let's have a breather. Bring the palms up towards the ceiling. Breathing there. Long, easy breaths. Relieve any tension on the wrists. Breathe into that rib cage. We're going to just roll up through the spine. We're going to come onto our bellies. So, coming down onto your stomach. We're going to bring legs parallel and hip distance. We're going to bring the legs together and then just let the heels flop out. So big toes are together and heels are away from each other. So we're in dart legs. And we're going to bring the hands into our diamond press position. So hands like so, full head down. Make sure your shoulders feel nice and open. So if you need to bring the hands a bit wider, please do. We're just going to add some core. I'm going to start with a diamond press. So just the upper back's going to extend. Core's nice and turned on. I'm going to start by lifting the head off the mat. Chin goes forward slightly and just start extending only as far as you can without putting pressure on those hands and getting into the lower back. So think of squeezing your back muscles. Pause and then roll back down again. Again, we're going to go inhale at the bottom. Exhale, come up. Maybe a little bit more core to get you up into your extension. Really use your back muscles. Inhaling to pause. Exhaling to come down. Okay, let's glue the hands to the back of the forehead this time. So as we inhale, we're bringing the hands up with the front line. Pausing. And then down. One more like this. I'm going to add on some dart. Exhaling up into your diamond press with the hands. Inhaling to pause. Exhaling to come down. Okay. This time we're going to swim the arms round and squeeze the legs and come into dart after a diamond. So let's exhale, we come up. Inhale to swim the arms round, palms face in, squeeze the legs. Pause. Exhale, hands come back round and you come back down and then you relax the legs. Exhale to come up. Inhale to swim and squeeze. Exhale, bring the hands back round and then lower down. So I'm maintaining my spine, keeping my spine up until the hands reach my forehead again. So staying up. Lots more core. Let's do 2 more. You can always stay with your diamond press if it's too much to stay up in dart as well. Last one. Swim round. Bring the hands back. And relaxing at the bottom. Keep the legs together, hands by the ribs, push back, reaching forward into your child's pose and take a breath here. Breathing, 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 releasing any tension on that lower back. And then we're just going to come back forwards into our side lying. So with your side lying, if you do have a little cushion, you can place it under the head like so. Or you can come up on your shoulder, as on your hand as well. Whatever you fancy. I'm going to come down. So we're going to do oyster. So let's bring the bottom of the feet, sorry, my fringe is getting all in my, bottom of the feet in line with the bum and quite a nice bend in the knee. So think of like a 45-degree angle rather than the tabletop legs. You're just going to bring them down a bit further. And think joints under joints. So we're going to do arms underneath, but then you're going to snuggle that shoulder underneath a little bit so you're not just like hoiking your arm up. And if you have got a cushion, just going to remove the fluff on it that you might have accumulated from your carpet and just place it under your head just so you have a bit of a nicer line. From here, we're going to lift our core up from the floor slightly, just so we're not sinking down into the mat. So you're lifting the ribs away from the floor. Doesn't matter if you have a gap here or not, you're just actively making sure you're not sinking into the ground. From here, we're going to glue the feet together. We're just going to lift the feet like a couple inches off the ground. Keeping the hips facing forward and nice and neutral, toes together. We're going to open up that leg. So rotate that upper thigh and then you're going to close it again. So let's inhale to open, exhale to close. Inhaling to open, exhaling to close. We can do 8 like this. This is 5. Notice how I like to count the side line. 6. And then we're going to do 8 internally rotating that hip. Relaxing the shoulder. Keeping the lift. And then we're just going to bring that foot knee parallel. And we're going to go knee to knee. So in and out. In and out. Take it slow. In, really think of the thigh turning in and that toe going towards the ceiling. Keeping the hip facing forward. Maybe you have your hand on your hip just to keep it steady. 5, 6. I like to have my hand a bit further down than up here because you end up like bringing the elbow really high. 7 and 8 and close. Give it a little tap. I'm going to go to the other side. So you can just turn around. I'm going to swing around just so I can see you guys. So get into that nice position again, arms down. You can get into your tabletop even and then just think, I want to bring my knees down and back a little bit. Lift that core up, snuggle that shoulder under. Let's lift those feet off the ground slightly. Hand can be in front or on your hip, on your pelvis. And we're going to open and close. Keep breathing. Soft bend in the toes. It's our friend soft point because I always point too heavily and then I end up hurt. And my toes get cramp. 6, 7 and 8. Bring it to parallel. We're going to go knee in, knee out. Internal rotation always feels really weird. I've got way less internal rotation on this side than the last side. But try to get it there. Make it feel funky. Funky just reminds me of my mum. Whenever I wore like an out there outfit. Ooh, you look funky. 6, 7 and 8. Knees together, feet down. Give it a little tap, tap, tap. Just gonna come up and come up to seated. So again, if you're sitting and you find your hips hurt, please just grab a block or a book or a cushion and have a sit on it. It will change your life. It just releases the tension on the hip flexors. Right, so we're gonna bring the feet nice and long, so long frog, feet together, big diamond. So not here, so the feet are really high. Bring them away. I'm gonna do some side bend. So we're gonna sit up tall. So in your seated, I don't want you to feel like you're collapsed down. I want you to think of zipping up through the core, all the way to the top. If you have a mirror, it's quite handy because it's a hard one to notice whether you're leaning back or forth. So practice after the session. Okay, we're gonna bring our hands on either side of our body. Again, if you are on blocks and you can't reach the ground, grab another book or something and then you can bring the floor to you. Like, don't worry, everyone's arms and bodies are different lengths, so don't worry if you're like, I can't reach the floor. Grab a cushion, grab a block. Okay, we're gonna do some side bend first. I'm gonna add a little press to the side bend. So you can mirror me, makes it easier than me trying to be left and right in the mirror, and bring one arm up. We're going to keep the heaviness in the pelvis and just start flexing to the side. Other hand can go away. So think of your tricep press as you reach as far as you can, keeping the opposite hip heavy. I'm going to pause and then restack the spine after straightening that arm back to the top. So we're going to inhale to raise the arm up. And exhale to flex the other arm, bends, slides away so you can have some room. And inhale to hold, enjoy that stretch. Exhale, restack back to the top. This time we're going to add like a little 3-point press. Oh, exciting. So you can stay there or you can add on. So let's bring the arm up. Let's come round. And we're in our side bend. We're going to inhale to press. Exhale to bring back up. We're going to bring the hand a bit further. Inhale to press. Exhale to lift. Maybe we go a bit further. I'm trying really hard to keep my opposite hip down. Inhale to bend. Think of just squeezing this side of the body Exhale, use the core. We're coming all the way back up. And arm down. Let's do that on the other side. Inhale, let's reach. Exhale, head goes. Find that first position. We're going to bend and straighten. Bring the arm a bit further away. Bend and straighten. Bring the arm a little bit further away. It doesn't have to be far. Bend and straighten all the way back up. We're going to let one more to each side. So you can see my knees wobbling. I'm trying my best. That's all we ask, is to try our best to keep those hips anchored. So if you're only going 1 millimeter away, that's completely fine. Let's lift the arms. Let's flex. And then we're going to bend. And we're going to straighten. As I'm straightening, I'm focusing a lot on like, how much can I use my core to pull up, trying to make it as light as I can on the hand. One more to the other side. Inhale. Let's bend and straighten. Bend and core. Really subtle. And all the way up to the top. Oof. Let's bring the feet nice and wide. We're just going to relieve the tension on those hips. Hands come behind us, chest up. It's going to roll from one side to the other. Should feel really nice. Let the hip move. Whatever movement in those hips feel good at this point. Push the hip up. Push the hip up. Keep length through the body though. We're still Pilatesing, so we're not sunk down. We're thinking gravity, thinking posture. One more each side. Might even feel nice on that lower back as well. And then we're going to come round. So I don't know why I felt very dramatic there. And we're going to just come onto all fours again. And we're going to come up to standing. So tucking the toes. We're just going to walk the hands back. Keep the toes tucked. Knees come off the mat so you feel a nice stretch in the ankles. Rock them from side to side, whatever feels good on those toes. And then we're going to straighten the legs and brace the core. Think of lifting the ribs away from the floor as you tuck the tailbone under, up into that standing position. We're just going to finish with a bit of standing on one leg and then some roll downs. So let's find our standing correctly position. So we've got feet hip distance, length through the torso, ribs nice and soft. Feel that posture, feel the warmth that we just created from our session. And we're going to stand on one leg. So you can have the hands on the hips if you like, or alongside the body. Let's see, I'm going to do hands on hips. So again, you can mirror me. We're going to lift the heel up, transferring that weight. Then the knee is going to come up as high as you can without, sorry, frog in my throat, tucking the pelvis under. We're going to pause, and then you're going to lower back down again, trying to keep nice and stable. Let's inhale. Exhale, knee up, heel it up. Inhale to pause, find length. Exhale to come down. So think of everything that we've done in the session. Keep going. And imagine that knee fold that we did when we're lying on the floor, when we're trying not to tuck under. That's the same thing going on here. We're just standing. We're keeping that lovely spine. And push that floor away. Posture, posture, posture. And down. Toe down, heel down. Let's bring the hands up into Cossack arms. We're just going to do a little waist twist in our knee fold. So arms, one on top of the other, bring them down slower than the shoulders so they're relaxed. Mirroring me again. And folding up. And then we're going to inhale, the head's going to rotate, the shoulders go just as far as you can, keeping that knee pointing forwards. And then you're going to bring it back. Think of sequentially coming back one bone at a time, and then bring that leg down. Alternating sides. We're going to go twice each way. Arms are going to start getting heavy. Don't be mad at me. We're just building some strength here, people. Pause. If you go too far with the arms, you'll know, because the arms will be further than your head and the rest of your spine. It's easier to pull the arms around, but you want those arms to stay right in the center of your chest. Let's go one more each side. Head goes. Think of the spine moving and the arms just being attached. Spine first. Push that floor away. Down. Last one. Ooh. Find that find that focal point. When you're twisting, find that moving focal point, people. Back to center, arms down, relax the arms. I'm just going to bring both arms up, overhead, circle them forwards. Inhaling one direction, exhaling. Inhaling for half, exhaling for half. Let's switch directions, coming forwards, up and around. One more. And round. Let's bring the head to one side, ear to one shoulder, round, ear to the other shoulder, round. Last one. Back to center. And we are done. That was our full body Pilates class, and I hope you enjoyed it.